We are following breaking news right now on WFMY News 2. Within the last hour, we got a heartbreaking update from Greensboro Police. An officer killed in the line of duty at Food Lion.
First, we want to honor the life and service of Officer Michael Horan, who was killed in the line of duty this morning.
Confirming Greensboro police officer Michael Horan is dead after a shooting inside a busy grocery store just days before Christmas.
Details about the shooting are limited, but we do know that a suspect is in custody. This happened at 11 o'clock this morning at the Food Lion on Lawndale Drive in Greensboro. That road is currently closed from the Greensboro Science Center all the way to the urban loop, with the exit off the loop also closed. So here's what Greensboro police shared with us just about an hour ago. They say police responded to the store because of a report with a man with a gun. Officer Michael Horan went inside where he was shot and killed. Police say they do have a suspect in custody. They have not shared what exactly led up to the shooting or the name of the suspect.
You know, again, we were saying this happened at a busy Food Lion as many people were making those last-minute purchases before the holidays. Our crews were able to talk to people who were in the store or had family members at the store at the time.
In this moment, personally for me, I'm in shock.
We are bringing you live team coverage of this officer-involved shooting. We'll take you through what we know right now, what witnesses saw, and how investigators were able to identify and catch the suspect. First, we start with WFMY News 2's Amber Lake, who was at the Greensboro Police Department's press conference less than an hour ago. Amber.
Yeah, guys, that press conference wrapped up around 30 minutes ago, and it was a somber feeling to be in there, eerie almost, just because almost a year ago, we've been in this exact same spot covering the shooting death of Sergeant Dale Nix. This police department is heartbroken. They are hurting today. That's because they're covering another tragic shooting death that happened this morning. A memorial is already set up inside the police department for Officer Michael Horan, surrounded by candles, a flag, and part of his uniform. Officer Michael Horan was shot and killed in the line of duty this morning. He'd been with the force since 2018. He was a father, a son, a husband, a friend. He received a life-saving award back in 2019 for saving a man and his son from drowning at the beach. Not only was he a police officer, he was also a member of the Coast Guard since 2000. Around 11 this morning, GPD was responding to a call at the Food Lion on Lawndale Drive in reference to an armed man. The Assistant Greensboro Police Chief was joined by other officers and city officials today, and it was hard for those who spoke to get the words out that Officer Horan had died.
I wish I was here addressing under different circumstances. And to put it simply, we're heartbroken. I want to express my love and my support for the Greensboro police family, a family that I served along with for 17 years before stepping into this role. This is truly a family, but a family that has been tested today.
And we've said this before, but that suspect is in custody. There is no threat to the public, but the lasting impact this is going to leave on so many people across the state, it's just absolutely heartbreaking to think about. Live in Greensboro, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.
We continue our team coverage now with Sydney Moore, who's live at the Food Lion. And Sydney, you've been working on finding out more information about the suspect in custody.
Yeah, and definitely still looking into any possible leads. I got to tell you, it is just a devastating day here in Greensboro and in the Triad as a whole. We do know that that suspect, like you all have been saying, is in custody. But as far as the suspect's name, that information has not been released, as well as what led up to this devastating incident. Right now, I am only just steps away from the Food Lion where this incident occurred. You can see it over my shoulder. It is still a heavy police presence. There is still caution tape surrounding that Food Lion building here on Lawndale. We do know that officers responded to a man with a firearm at around 11 a.m., fatally killing Officer Michael Horan. Again, still a heavy police presence. That happened at 11 a.m., still police out here at 4 o'clock. And we heard police in the press conference. They really thanked police across the state who helped arrest this suspect that we do not know right now. We do know that SB FBI is leading the investigation and that the suspect is in custody. We are continuing to look into any possible leads as we wait to get more information as this day continues to go on. My thoughts and prayers are with this department. We are around the holiday season and just can't imagine what this department is going through at this time. But again, we'll continue to stay here on this scene. Live in Guilford County, Sydney Moore, WFMY News 2.
It truly is a somber day in Greensboro and all across the state. This shooting came at a very busy time, just 2 days before Christmas, as people were out and about shopping to get ready for the holiday. WFMY News 2's Giselle Thomas spoke to some of the people who were there at the grocery store when this happened.
And it truly was really busy. I was able to speak to some of the workers who stay here, and they told me that between today and also tomorrow, those are seriously the busiest times that people are here. And now the store is busy now with investigators and also SBI going through trying to figure out exactly what happened here. It's truly tragic. I was able to speak to some workers who say that they were supposed to go in for the later shift today. They were told by their bosses that they should not come in just out of precaution and that they had the day off. But as they recall about what this neighborhood is and what everything means to them, they say that this is a truly family-friendly environment, and they can't believe that something like this happened inside of their neighborhood. I was also able to speak to a man who says that his brother was inside of the store at the time, and he is safe and sound, although there are some vehicles out here that you can see that are civilian vehicles. He says that his brother is home safe. Now, that employee says that although all of this happened, what matters is that within the neighborhood that they stick together as a family.
It is heartbreaking because we love this community. You know, we've been a part of Greensboro for a while, and this is our lives, our livelihood. We need to feel safe where we stay at.
Now, that employee also tells me that at least for the past few months now, she feels like it's hard to even just walk across the street sometimes, noticing the difference in the changes in the neighborhood, whether it's the different people that have moved in or just the different behavior. She says she wants to feel safe in the neighborhood that she works in. Live in Greensboro, Giselle Thomas, WFMY News 2.
You know, when I posted the story on my Facebook page, a viewer named Marie Pinnix began sending pictures on this very post, and she was stuck in the Food Line parking lot on Lawndale.
As I was leaving out of the door, I heard a ruckus, but, you know, I kept going, and then all of a sudden, people were running out of the store.
I see. So you didn't hear any shots?
I just heard a ruckus, and then I saw people running out of the store. When I say they were running out, both doors.
Marie Pinnix says an elderly woman was with her in the parking lot. She was stranded.
It was cold, and she was waiting for her sister, and I couldn't leave her out in the cold because today was her birthday, 93 today. So I asked her what was going on. She said, somebody is shooting.
I mean, she said it was just, she didn't even realize that a shooting was going on because she didn't hear it. And then that scared her to think, oh my goodness, I wasn't aware of what was happening.
Really just a shocking situation. A Food Line spokesperson released a statement about the shooting inside one of their stores. It reads, Food Line is deeply saddened by the tragedy that occurred at our store located on Lawndale Drive. We express our deepest condolences to the officer's family and friends. As this is an active investigation, we are directing all questions to local law enforcement. Food Line is cooperating with authorities, and the store will remain closed while the police investigation continues. We are providing resources to support our associates during this difficult time.
Yeah, as we bring you this coverage, I want to set the scene here with our DOT traffic map and show you, as you're familiar with I-840, the urban loop, a very heavily traveled area right off the Lawndale Drive exit here, where there is still traffic and some roadblocks, as our reporters have been saying. You have the Food Lion right off the interstate. It is a popular shopping spot, especially the day before Christmas Eve. Then you have the Science Center right here and Country Park. My family was actually going down I-840 around 11:20, trying to get off at this exit to go to the Greensboro carousel. The kids wanted to ride that today, and we were redirected because all of this was just unfolding. We've shown you some of these pictures here. We want to show you again. Can you imagine being a shopper inside that store as this was all happening? And then tons of law enforcement agents start to show up and block things off. It must have been absolutely terrifying. You see people on their phones, heavy police presence here blocking very heavily traveled roadways, especially this time of year. Governor Roy Cooper, as we've shown you, has been in contact, he said, with local and state law enforcement regarding the shooting. He said involving the Greensboro police officer. We have sent significant state law enforcement personnel who are helping with the response. And then we showed you this earlier, and it's very tough to see it again. It is now a photo of a table Greensboro Police Department headquarters has in downtown Greensboro. On it, you can see a picture of Officer Michael Horan. You can see his gun here. You can see the American flag and his hat. And then you see this framed photo of a prayer. Zooming in, this is the police officer's prayer, the policeman's prayer, and I want to read it to you here. It says, "When I start my tour of duty, God, whatever crime may be, as I walk or drive the darkened streets alone, let me be close to thee. Please give me the understanding with both the young and the old. Let me listen with attention until their story's told. Let me never make a judgment in a rush or callous way, but let me hold my patience. Let each person have their say. Lord, if some dark and dreary night I must give my life, Lord, with your everlasting love, protect my children and my wife." We know Officer Horan was a husband and a father, and we all are thinking about that family now and in the days ahead.
Such a very touching tribute and such poignant words on a day like today. We want to take a moment to recap what we have learned so far. Greensboro Police confirmed that an officer, Officer Horan, died in the line of duty this morning.
Yeah, police say units responded to a call that there was a man with a gun inside the food line on Lawndale Drive. Officer Michael Horan was then shot and killed by that person, they're saying. Investigators have not shared what led up to this shooting. The suspect, though, is in custody. They have not shared a name or charges at this time. Now, we are going to continue to stay on top of the shooting all day as we continue to learn more information. You can get the latest details as they continue to develop on our website, WFMYnews2.com. And of course, you'll see us putting updates on our Facebook pages, Instagram, and on WFMY+.